Now, the theme, as Sarah said, of this year's conference is business growth. And it's really going to be about how we take greater creative control of our commercial destiny. We'll be building on the pricing, selling, and negotiation themes that we explored last year with the key figures from inside and outside our industry. Now, looking at the some 210 attendees this year, I'm really pleased to report that as I was going through that list last night, over half of the people in this room are from outside the finance function. Now, for me, that's a massive success. When I first started coming to these events some 8 or so years ago, the room was just CFOs, FDs, or financial people. And as those that will know me, I passionately believe the success commercially of our business actually sits outside of finance. Not to say that they don't have a role, they have a critical and important role, but owning the commercial success of our business sits at the full C-suite and across all disciplines in our business. So it's great to see that over 10% of the people here today have the word commercial in their title. There's even a pricing director amongst you, which is fantastic news. There's a greater number of HR directors because, after all, this is going to require us to get different skill sets and hire different types and mixtures of experience into our business. There's more MDs and CEOs than we've ever had at the conference before here today. Because commercial creativity is a leadership challenge. Pricing is both an art and a science. Pricing requires us to know the value we deliver, understand how best to price that value, negotiate the sale, and subsequently measure and report on the effectiveness and efficiencies that we have delivered to our clients. And thereby, we prove that we have delivered value to brands and ultimately to our clients. I was interested when I was at Cannes this year that McKinsey's Jason Heller kicked off Cannes this year with a talk on the economics of creativity. Heller shared McKinsey's research findings. They had been looking at all of the brands that had been participating in Cannes, and they came up with something called the ACS score, the Award Creative Scores. And what they found was the most creative brands and leaders outperformed their peers on all key financial metrics, proving that creativity was critically important. But Heller went on to say that creativity alone doesn't drive performance, but it's part of the equation. So what's interesting for me, and I hope everybody today, is how do we get better at the other part of that equation? And he's called out 4 key things that all of those other successful businesses had in common. They talked about innovation and creativity daily, with 70% of them seeing marketing as an investment. They created a customer-centric culture that they felt was the second greatest value that a business could foster. And his favourite was that speed was critical. Not just going faster, but by building better muscles to allow you to get faster when creating value. Operations, he called it, over aspirations, which I thought for our industry was a really interesting call-out. And finally, his 4th observation was they had a very much adapt or die culture, reorganize and reshape. It was all about the mindset, and that change was critical to being and continuing to be successful. Anyway, let's get on with the day, and we've got a jam-packed agenda. So I'd like us to introduce David Meikle, our first speaker. David has had a long career in advertising, including serving as a board director at Grey, my old agency, and Ogilvy, London, and was also the group managing director of Ogilvy in Russia, where he managed revenue growth of some 500% over a 4-year period. Since 2009, he's been operating as a business consultant, intermediary and trainer, and been working on a new paradigm for client and agency engagement. His new book How to Buy a Gorilla, which hopefully you'll have got in your packs, has just been released last Thursday, and he's here to tell us about this new model and specifically a little about the commercial relationship between clients and agencies. Please welcome David.